Welcome to the newest episode of the Needless Things podcast. I'm your host, Dave West, and we are going to be talking about our favorite stuff from San Diego Comic-Con. Now, I say we because I wouldn't want to do this alone, so I brought along our head of research from Audible Interlude.
I'm codename Legion Cub, aka Kristian.
Your stalling is going to be really fun tonight.
Sorry.
It's just a surprised look on your face while you talk. And another head of research, the Needless Things head of research. Welcome back.
Hey, glad to be here. This was a much better San Diego Comic-Con last year, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. And since we do our intros differently here, and I had intended to introduce both of you. And then I was like, no, wait, that'll confuse Kristian because he'll be like, and I'm your wait, what? So Kristian and Ryan, glad to have you here. This would be no fun to do alone. And again, I hate research, so I need you guys. You're my most valuable players. Before we get down to San Diego Comic-Con business, which I do think it was a little more exciting than last year, with not overwhelmingly so, but there were a few key things that I found to be like a lot of fun as they were happening. But before we get into that, I want to talk really quickly about your collecting rules, because as the economy worsens and as prices go up, and as independent toy companies grow larger and IPs grow more spread out, I find that I'm having to redo my rules of collecting, of how I buy things. For instance, there's a new Raven, the wrestler, Raven Big Rubber Guy figure that I really like, but I've already got like a smaller Hasbro retro style Raven that's probably the best one that's ever been made. I'd like to have both, but I don't need both in this not in this economy. What are you guys finding that you're cutting back or just getting more selective due to just the vast amount of stuff out there?
Yeah, I've cut back a lot. I used to collect every Marvel Legend, every Star Wars Black figure. And I was thinking about the other day, I don't remember the last Build-A-Figure in Marvel Legends that I did at retail and didn't just buy parts separately if I wanted it. And even to the point where, I used to be really big into upgrading the figures. Like when a new one came out, if it was pinless or any of that stuff, I would get a duplicate, and I've kind of stopped doing that.
Oh, interesting. That's one habit I haven't kicked, because usually, well, especially if it's pinless, if it's a pinless update, I'm in, because pins drive me freaking crazy now. Real quick. Yes. Tom.Henry, this is where I turn to for all the San Diego Comic-Con Hydra Sled news. Yes, stay tuned until the very end of the show, and we've got a big announcement about the Hydra Sled. So stick around. Stick around. Yeah, it's just expensive, and there's so much. There's so many toys coming at us from all directions. Kristian, we talk about it pretty much every week, but we're all cutting back in different ways.
I'm not a completist, and I don't need multiples of the same figures, but I'm sort of the opposite of what you were saying, Ryan, in that if there's an upgraded figure, I look at it and figure out, okay, which one do I like more? Which is representative of the figure I want to have? And if it is the newest version, then I will get that, and I'll sell off my old stuff. I'm not really holding on to things anymore.
Now, I will say,
I used to.
I did get suckered into an update, and I mention it because it happens to be sitting right next to me. Because I had the older version, and I convinced myself that I needed to get the new version because I just love this character so much. And the new version dropped in price on Amazon to the point where I was like, okay, I'll pay that for it. And then it got here, and it's like, it's not that much better than the old one. As a matter of fact, I think I prefer the old one because I don't care for the white background on the X now that I see it in person.
I have tricked myself on that one several times because it's on fake clearance at Walmart here, and I keep picking it up and looking at it. And then like that meme, I'm like, what about the strong guy at home? And I'm like,
well, yeah, it's just not that. Well, and that's the other thing is the FOMO got me a little bit too, because I've not seen it in a store at all. So the price dropped enough, and I felt like, okay, well, the next move is the price is going to start going back up, like that damn Zabu wave that I still need 3 of. So let me go
remind
ahead and
me, I know where it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh,
okay. Okay. We'll talk after the show. See, I think we're all cutting back, and my rule, with the Raven thing is, and this won't be for every character, but if I have a character in a format that I like, I'm not going to buy another one. So I think I've decided against the classified Fatal Fluffy because I've already got 3 of the Reaction Plus one, and honestly, that's the form factor I'd rather have it in. So it's stuff like that. Whereas before I would have just bought every Batman, and now I'm going to be like, no, I don't really need another version of that. But like I said, they will still get me with like pinless upgrades, because pins are. We'll more on pins in a minute, actually.
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, Ryan.
It gets you to. So I organized my Star Wars collection by like movie and by like era. And so previously, like take a Merrick that they just announced. So I've got Merrick down with the Acolyte, and then they announced this new one. So previously I'd be like, well, I need another Merrick because he goes with the Inquisitors up here. And now I'm starting to like rethink those decisions. Like, he's a couple of shelves down. That's fine.
Yeah, and that's when you're reorganizing things and you run it, like I ran into this when I was doing my classified, is like, okay, this fits here. And then like Night Force doesn't fit anywhere where I have space right now. What do I do? And that's space is another problem. All right. So before the show, we're going to skip that because we're going to talk about all this stuff anyway. Did you guys pick up any exclusives, or do you plan to, since not all of them have gone up yet?
I am going to still try for one Fatal Fluffy. But I think that's the only one. And when I was looking at Hasbro Pulse today, I was surprised at how many of last year's San Diego Comic-Con exclusives are still available. So I know I said on Audible Interlude, like, for the price, I don't want the Cadet Dimming and Shipwreck 2-pack. But if it's still there by this time next year, and I have birthday money or sold in organ money, like I don't feel like it's a, oh my gosh, I have to have this right now kind of thing. And same thing with Fatal Fluffy. If I don't get one, I'm gonna be fine because I have the Super 7 version. But I like monsters.
Yeah, and I mean, it looks like a really cool figure, but space and money and everything else, it just comes down to making decisions about stuff. I ordered the Python Patrol Reaction Plus Trouble Bubble, which might be here for tomorrow's Audible Interlude live stream.
Nice.
So everybody tune in tomorrow night for the G.I. Joe and G.I. Joe adjacent portion of San Diego Comic-Con coverage, where we'll be live right here at 8 p.m. And then once it goes up, I'm going to order the Louis Tully and the glow-in-the-dark Ectocopter, because I'll buy all the real Ghostbusters stuff that Hasbro does. I'll buy it. Like, as gorgeous as Mondo's is, the prices are fucking ridiculous. And glory be to everyone that has them. Good for you, but I could not justify that insanity. Ryan, anything? There's got to be at least one Star Wars, right?
No.
At least one. Nothing?
So, Star Wars did the Clone Trooper with the ATRT, and like, I'm so burnt out on Clone Troopers right now that I just said whatever. And they're going to release a regular version, so I'm just going to buy that probably. This is the first time there's no exclusives I'm going for. Like, if I find that Dungeon Crawler Carl exclusive easily, I might buy that. But other than that, nothing.
Now, is that from the upcoming figure line?
Yeah. It's just like a bloody variant.
Those, I mean, I'll be interested to see what. I still have not experienced Dungeon Crawler Carl. Jay has been on me about that. But like,
they're not great.
I don't think they look very well. I think we talked about this on the Toy Fair episode.
We did.
They don't look great, but sometimes when it's something you love and there's just no merchandise of it, you just gotta go in just to have that little totem.
Yep.
Okay, so we've got a few things. Well, actually, before we get into that, I got to mention, go to the Needless Things channel Instagram page. That's Needless Things channel. Go to the pinned stories. It'll take you to our TeePublic store where you can get some Needless Things merchandise. Not as much variety as Audible Interlude, but that just makes your choice easier. But we've got the hats, the shorts, the phones, the shirts, everything with that gorgeous Universal Monsters style Needless Things logo. Go check it out, Needless Things channel on Instagram. Okay, so that brings us up to the first thing I want to talk about that I don't have an image for, and that's McFarlane. McFarlane showed some pretty cool stuff, but every picture they show, I just see those big, ugly pins in their figures. And I cannot bring myself, like, I'm getting, Ryan, kind of like with the Dungeon Crawler Carl stuff, I'm buying McFarlane's Batman movie stuff because who knows if I'll ever, if anybody, like Mattel's getting the license, but who knows what their plans are. So I've been getting that, but like the image line that they're doing that look great except for those pins, and they're like $50 or $60.
That grifter is like $60. It's crazy.
That surprised me because McFarlane has always been so good about keeping his price down compared to even the bigger companies. But
that is over because now he's got figures that would have been $20 like 18 months ago that are coming out for $34.99 for no reason at all.
Except that he puts the super secret platinum edition on the box and $40.
Right. Puts the little foil sticker on the box, jacks that price up about 60%. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that McFarlane did show some cool stuff, including a new wave of superpowers, which I hope they keep going with. I hope they get to keep that segment of the DC license and just keep making them. Or if they can't, that Mattel picks it up because those figures are exactly what they should be. Also mentioned, speaking of Mattel, Mattel does have the DC license now. I do not believe it's the master license because we've got news on that later and more on that later. But Mattel did announce that their DC collector line, there will be a sneak peek at New York Comic-Con and full reveals on January 1st. And as I've said on previous shows, if you go back to 2011 when they launched their WWE line, all the reveals were on January 1st, but that is also when they were available. Like you could go into a store on New Year's Day and buy the new WWE products.
So without calling somebody out, I have it on good authority that stores have ordered these figures already. And there are a lot of them. There's vehicles. There's some large vehicle that's between $200 to $300. Like
at retail?
At retail. And like, it is insane how big that order is. And he was told by the rep, I guess, that they will start, there'll already be characters that McFarlane has not done. And then I was surprised to hear Mattel too, January 1st at midnight, they will launch a creation that night, I guess, as part of. Yeah.
Imagine what that's going to be if they've got the balls to put a $250 vehicle at retail. What is a creation's going to be?
I mean, what Batman variant is left now that we have Santa Batman?
Maybe the creations will be the Hall
Batman?
of Justice.
How funny would it be if it was just all Jokerized characters?
Oh my gosh. What? Hey, look, they did it with. Oh, by the way, I saw from the basic line, I saw the Joker in store the other day, and it's probably the best Joker figure I've ever seen, because nobody's ever really made a great Joker figure. Even the DC Universe Classics Jokers were like kind of wonky. This one looks great, so I can't wait to see what the Collector's Series one looks like. Speaking of Jokerized things. Worth mentioning, Hasbro San Diego Comic-Con exclusives will go up for sale on Hasbro Pulse August 10th at 1 p.m. for premium members, and then 24 hours later for everyone else. There's some gnashing of teeth going to happen over that.
They have needed to add some sort of value to premium.
Yeah.
Lord knows it hadn't been there. But I wondered, they've kind of already messed up. Two of the figures, I know Mother Talzin from Black Series and one other was supposed to go up, according to them, 2 days ago, and it just didn't go up.
So I think that changed because hey, hang on. Batman and Condiment King mashup, says Tom Henry. You know what? That's the next Jokerized, is everybody needs to be condimentized. So we'll get like ketchup, Green Lantern, onion, Batman, mayonnaise, Wonder Woman.
If you put something called a condiment variant, some parent will protest.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. You'd have to call him top. They're going to change his name to Topping King.
Fixins, man.
Soundwave 810 says, August 10th is my birthday. Well, looks like you have a lot of presents to pre-order, I guess.
By yourself.
That's not as exciting. But yeah, that Pulse. So I did it again. I signed, even though I don't care for Pulse right now because of the way they're handling their charging and shipping. By which I mean they charge you for something and then they ship it a week later, the slowest shipping possible. It's not great.
Listen to this one though.
Wait.
They sent me
silent interlude says Topping King is somehow worse. I think you're right. You are correct.
So Pulse sent me an entire wave of Star Wars Black Series, like the first week of June. And then last week I got a shipping notification and they charged me. And I was like, what is happening? And no one can answer.
AI is what's happening. They're having it handle their fulfillment and everything else.
Wow. Because I've had it where the figures have arrived at my house. And then a couple of days later, I get the shipping notice letting me know. But I've never been double charged yet.
They did.
Wow.
But anyway, despite my dissatisfaction with Pulse lately, my practicality won out because it's premium, even though there are not a ton of perks between me and Riley with what we order. It covers the shipping. Because I will, free shipping is free shipping, and I'll wait a little bit longer. I don't know if they offer FedEx, like you can choose FedEx or whatever, but I'm not. Everything's so expensive now. I'm not adding $10 to $15 onto the price of it, which is why. By the way, thank you to everybody that has reached out to me about the Tiger Force Reaction Plus figures, but I'm not going to pay shipping for them. Like, that's the whole point, is I want to get them for retail price. So while I really appreciated everyone, unless you're local or can get it to me free somehow, I'm not paying $10 extra for really any figure at this point. Big Rubber Guys. So a little bit of news to talk about. Everybody knows I'm a huge fan of the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. Years ago, they started a toy company called Major. And the Big Rubber Guys, if you don't know, are basically in the style of the old 80s WWF LJN figures, the big rubber guys, if you will. So they've been doing wrestlers for a while. They expanded into baseball mascots, and now they are getting into other licenses. And as you can see, they have chosen some of the licenses that every startup toy company in the world chooses as their first expansion things. Popeye, and then the King features characters, Phantom and Flash Gordon, which is cool. it's great to expand. It's great to have something out there, and there are always fans of those, franchises out there. And I think this form factor in particular works for those characters. Also, Insane Clown Posse coming soon. Wrestling style ICP figures just make sense. They also have Eddie from Iron Maiden and a Bark at the Moon Ozzy that I couldn't find the pictures of. They showed them, and they look great. They're doing Princess Bride figures, which, again, Andre the Giant, that wrestling connection. This is going to be an incredible, massive figure. If you're watching us live on the Needless Things YouTube channel, you see he doesn't look very big, but if you've seen their Big Rubber Guys Andre figures, it's huge compared to the other ones. This is just because this is concept art, so, to fit it into the panel. And then finally, the Kool-Aid Man. That's right. A Big Rubber Guy of the Kool-Aid Man, which honestly, I think has the most toy photography potential of any of these.
Mm-hmm.
Because think about the viral possibilities of the Kool-Aid Man attacking any of your action figure displays.
That thing's going to be heavy, too.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be that, and that Andre are both going to be massive. They went during their, you can catch the major San Diego Comic-Con reveal video. It's on not Needless Things. It's on YouTube. And they mentioned that the Kool-Aid Man is so deep, it's going to have the blister for it, because these all come on slide open blister cards, that it's got the deepest blister they've had to make so far. But just a lot of fun stuff, and it's great to see this company expanding and trying new things. I will say this, though. They do need a spokesperson to talk about these licenses that they don't really care about. Watching the video where they're like, yeah, we've got Popeye. Yeah, Popeye's cool. What else we got? We got Phantom. He's got guns and he's purple. Yeah, purple's cool. I like purple. Like,
your grandpa loves these guys.
Yeah, right. So let me just go ahead and offer my services if you'd like a spokesperson to talk about the licensed stuff that, while critical to business, clearly you're less interested in. Get me on board. I'll take care of it. Okay, so just wanted to cover some of that stuff because I think it's very important. And along the same track, I was delighted to learn there will be a Cyndi Lauper LJN figure. This one's coming from Mattel because Mattel is producing WWE licensed figures in the same form factor as the Big Rubber Guys. And if you don't know, one of their San Diego Comic-Con exclusives was an Elite style Cyndi Lauper, but she comes with Roddy Piper and Captain Lou Albano, which I love them, but I don't need them. I just want a Cyndi Lauper figure, and that set's like $80 or $85, and I'm just not paying that for it. But this one, these have been coming in at $24.99. So my $24.99 LJN style Cyndi Lauper, thank you very much. I'll take it. And that's early 2027. Next up, did you guys see this? The Nacelle Star Trek Enterprise Bridge. What were your thoughts when you saw this behemoth?
So we talked about this, I think, on the Toy Fair episode, maybe.
Yes.
And this confirmed what we said. To enjoy it, you have to look down into it. And so I question how, like, it has to go on a table, I guess. It's great, though.
Well,
it's amazing.
It's similar to the Big Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
In that you have to have a giant place to put. Now, granted, it's much larger than that Falcon. But you have to have a giant space to put it, and you have to have enough space above to get down into it. Now, those top panels are removable. So you can get them out of the way. You can display half of it, open to like the set. Like there are options to display it. But man, that thing is huge.
Yeah. I was so impressed.
It would make a sweet coffee table. Like put some glass over the top.
I mean, that's essentially what it. You'll have to build something like what these guys are standing next to display it.
Just encase it in a giant vat of resin and make
No,
conversation
you have to
out of it.
you have to build a little gimbal for it so it can teeter. So anyway, it looks. I'm excited to see this. I don't know how realistic it's going to be for my budget or for my space or anything else, but I definitely will be following closely. And I'll say this: I gotta respect Nacelle for their dedication to licenses that I am shocked are selling.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I saw the number of Biker Mice from Mars and Cowboys of Moo Mesa things that they had on display, like clearly there's a market there. And it makes sense because we're 30 years past that stuff now. So people that were young when that stuff was big,
Cowboys
you know,
from Moo Mesa, it surprises me because that was a one and done season. Biker Mice, at least if I remember correctly, had 3 seasons. That seems to be the biggest of all the franchises, and the fact that they're doing, reaction style 5-point of articulation figures of them now, I'm like, oh, awesome. I also chalk it up that Nacelle totally understands that there is a big furry community out there in the world now that needs more than Zootopia merchandise.
Yeah, that's very true. And that's a conversation for a whole other show. But that when you say there is a big furry population, there's a convention in Atlanta that is as big as Dragon Con. It's crazy. Yep. Okay, I got to make a note real quick so I don't forget to
making a note. FurryCon.
Yeah.
I think it's
furry.
No, I just remembered. I remembered something that not like only today, right before we came on, somebody posted a picture of this, which we'll get to later. And I forgot to put it in my notes, and I don't have the picture because I was already done. But anyway, we got to move on. So good for Nacelle for just doing what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And seemingly just not giving a fuck. And like, nope, we're going to make this. Let's go.
I'm telling you, all the licenses that the loyal subjects had, give them to Nacelle.
Yeah.
Do them right.
No, actually, Mask, Hasbro, take that back.
True.
Take Mask back and Gem.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Super 7 wants to do O-rings. Then yes, let Super 7 do that. But like, I again, it's so infuriating that we got those Transformers G.I. Joe crossovers and got no Mask out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane to me. All right, moving along, because again, we've got a lot to talk about. Did you guys see Factory Entertainment stuff?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So, Factory Entertainment, working with Ramen Toy after the success of the Knight Rider kit campaign. Now, this is a 1/18th scale Airwolf that we're looking at, but this is a must-have for me, depending on the price. I have wanted an Airwolf toy. I loved that show, and I have wanted an Airwolf toy since that show, and this thing is gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Same. So Factory Entertainment are the same people that put out the Battlestar Galactica figures.
Yes.
And I told you when we were chatting about it what I roughly thought the price was. The Viper is $250. The kit, the Knight Rider kit car, is $359. So I am incredibly nervous about how expensive this is going to be.
If this comes in at or under 300, I'm in. Because
under 300, I think that's a good deal for that, especially in today.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Well, and you got to look at it. The bulk of it is what we're looking at in the screen here. The tail's not a ton. I don't know. We'll find out.
Mhm.
I'm going to keep my fingers crossed and remain hopeful. And of course, to go along with the Airwolf vehicle, there are Airwolf figures as well as a number of other 80s properties, well, 70s and 80s properties. It's a new line called Replay, and there are better pictures of these out there, but not that we could, because I've got to thank Toy Arc and Toy News International for once again letting us use pictures from their website. Everybody go check out the incredible galleries that are on both of those sites. I've got links to them in the description of this video. So there weren't any close-ups that I could use on the stream, but what we're looking at right now is Magnum PI dream figure. Such a dream figure for me that I bought a blank Magnum PI. I think it was from Lone Wolf Customs, and it's all like just Caucasian, like the whole figure. It's nude Caucasian, and the idea was, well, I'll get around to painting it, and that was like 2 years ago, and I'm never going to paint that thing. I know I'm not. So Magnum PI, little Michael Knight, $6 Million Man and Woman, Tubbs and Crockett from Miami Vice. Worth noting, the original Miami Vice.
Mhm.
And then Stringfellow Hawk and, oh shoot, what's his name? And his buddy from Airwolf. I can't remember his name.
I'm not going to remember that.
So you will have pilots available for the helicopter as well. Now, I don't know if different variations of them might be included. I don't know how that's going to work. But, and I also don't know, we're looking at Michael Knight right here. So you got to think a 1/18th scale kit is on the table. I would hope so, because again, space and money kept me from buying the 1/12th scale one.
I feel like I saw a picture of a 1/18th scale kit. I'd have to look.
Possible. I mean, it seems crazy that they wouldn't. So yeah, Factory Entertainment making some moves, and Ramen Toy definitely coming up. Oh, and I actually get to talk to Ace a little bit for the first time at Joe Fest. He is a very funny guy. I would have liked to hang out with him more, but there were so many people at Joe Fest. You get a social butterfly your way around that place. Next up, going to mention real quick, Syndicate Collectibles. Now, the first thing I thought was like, oh my gosh, it's the cabin from Evil Dead. It is not.
It's not?
It is.
I'd save that picture too.
It is the cabin from Army of Darkness because of licensing. So yes, the cabin as it appeared at the very, very beginning of Army of Darkness. Pretty cool. I'll be curious to see a price on it. It does appear to be 1/18th scale for the 3 3/4 inch Army of Darkness figures that they're putting out. Evil Ash, 2 different versions of Ash, and then the Pit Witch. They look cool. I've got the ones from Zombie Sailors Toys, and they're incredible. So going by my recently attempted rule, I don't know that I need these, but it really depends on how much that cabin is and how much it interacts. Like, I don't know if that's just a facade or if it's actually going to be like a play set. So more details to come, presumably. And now on to some big stuff, Masters of the Universe Origins. Now, I will recommend here, there's a link, again, in the description of this video to Pixel Dan's video of the Origin, or the Masters of the Universe panel that Mattel put on. I recommend going and watching that for all of the details. But I will quickly run down what is basically a reboot of Masters of the Universe Origins, which is initially I was annoyed, but after listening to them explain it, I think it's a really good move and a way to keep the brand going, because it was starting to kind of run down. And this is a way to get, yes, there's some figures here that we already have versions of and maybe don't need these specific versions, but by starting over, they're going to continue introducing concept characters and things we haven't seen before, like that Shadow Beast, but also keep it fresh for new fans to find He-Man and Skeletor and whoever at retail. So I think it's actually a brilliant move. So really quickly, here's just some bullet points. The inspiration for like the Manny faces, the Skeletor, the figures you're looking. So it's a way to get a little bit of new tooling, but also just refresh some characters we've seen before. They're not all from the card back art. As you can see, there's some things like the Tila Faker there. That's just a new concept. And I think it's a battle armor Man-at-Arms. Like, that's just cool. It makes sense. Lots of new tooling, though, with these characters. Wave 1 is going to be, and it's early 2027, Beastman, Battle Armor Man-at-Arms, and He-Man. And that is an updated He-Man with a head that is more reminiscent of the original toy. And then Wave 2 are Skeletor, Merman, and Manny faces. And if you buy all 6 of those figures, you'll have the parts to build that Shadow Beast that is back behind them. And the Shadow Beast is 7 inches tall, so it is a good bit larger than the rest of the figures in the line. The swappable limbs have been something that's always been there in Origins, has been an important part of the play value of them, beyond just us collectors. Well, now the hips will be swappable. That was one weird thing about the older figures, is you couldn't swap the legs. The hips did not come out. Now the hips are going to be swappable going forward. They have new window box packaging. Again, if you're watching the video, you can see the Man-at-Arms package right there. That looks great. They expanded it because they're going to have the Build-A-Figure parts now, so they need more real estate and a more stable retail presentation. And it looks like package art is going to be replacing the mini comics. They didn't specifically say no more mini comics, but they went into a long spiel about how the art on the back of the packaging is going to tell the story now. So I think the writing's on the wall for that. Hopefully old Robert has another gig at Mattel, something exciting he can sink his teeth into. There is a new Snake Mountain coming, which is kind of mind-blowing because the Origin Snake Mountain is fantastic, but they felt the need to update it. It will have the lava waterfall now, as well as a lot of new updates to make it a bigger and more exciting playset. And it does make sense. If this is a reboot of the line, then they are going to need to revisit some of those vehicles and playsets and things. And then finally, that is the Mask of Power, or one of the Mask of Power demons. That is the next Build-A-Figure for the next, I guess, 2 waves, if it's going to be 6 figures every time. So very exciting. I'm glad Origins is getting revitalized. I'm glad they're not changing the form factor of it. It's cool. And I'm also very happy that I'll be able to cherry pick even more.
Except for Build-A-Figures.
Except for Build-A-Figures. Yeah, and that is how they'll get me. Mm-hmm. That's okay. I'll just take them all to Retro Toy Con next year. Okay, now we've got some Marvel stuff we got to talk about. Oh, I got to say, before we get into this guy, did you guys see the Doomsday panel with Ryan Reynolds and the Canadian tuxedo Deadpool? Yeah. If they make a figure of that, I will buy it.
I might buy that. That was pretty fun.
I just thought that was fun.
Yeah.
So, Maximum Symbiote Spider-Man, which is something that I kind of rolled my eyes at when I heard they were doing it. But I got to say, I think the execution of it is great.
All right. So, the execution of it is great. And if you see the package of it, though, where you can actually see what all it comes with, screw you, Hasbro. Like, you know, it's not enough to justify that.
Well, and that's my problem is the price is gonna. Well, I don't know. I think honestly, by current standards, I think it's enough to justify the Maximum branding. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it's enough. I don't think any of the Maximums have justified the pricing.
Not so far.
No.
But this is cool. I love that it comes with the symbiote in the little
Mhm.
jar. It's got the Sonic Blaster. That Peter Parker portrait looking all like unshaven and worn out is great. I think it's an excellent execution,
Mm-hmm.
but I wouldn't pay over $30 for it.
No.
Let's see here. This was very exciting and I recommend everybody watch the Marvel Legends recap panel with Dwight and Dan because they do drop some tidbits in there. I was excited to see this because when I first saw this is the Magic the Gathering Black Panther, which again, I rolled my eyes and then I saw the picture of him with the Infinity Gauntlet, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Vibranium spear is a nice touch. And they said that this is the first super articulated classic style Black Panther they've done. I mean, they did the retro card back one. But
it depends on what you want to count. Yeah, it's classic.
Right.
You know, these Magic figures, and they have been some good ones. And I will say, I was talking to a friend of mine, and he has said that every Magic figure he has bought, he's got it early on and flipped the card for just as much as the figure was.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, like, I might try it next time.
I would, but that kind of thing never, ever works for me. I hear stories like that all the time. And then I'm like, okay, I'll give it a try. And I end up stuck with garbage.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just thought this was a really cool looking figure. And yeah, it comes with a Magic card. This was one of the stars of the show, but none of us put it on our lists. Guys, what about Mole Man?
He was first cut on my list, actually, but I already had
Really?
2 more Legends. Yeah, so I had him on there. I mean, he's a definite buy.
Kristian?
So I was excited by him, and I love the fact that the Moloids that come with him are articulated and not just slugs. However, right now, where I am mentally, it's not going to justify what they are going to charge for him.
I'm curious.
And I don't know if have we gotten a price yet. I don't remember seeing it.
No, but looking at what they're charging for some of the other figures, I'm like, they're going to count this as like a 3-figure set. It's going to be more than 50.
Well, no, because they are the Moloids have shoulder and neck articulation, but that's it.
Yeah.
So they are kind of slugs. I don't think they're going to go so crazy as to try and charge like, $90.
But they considered Franklin and Valeria like full-size Marvel Legend figures when they priced those 2 kids out. So I don't have a lot of faith.
Well, the pre-order goes up July 29th at 1 p.m. and it's everywhere. And I guess we'll find out then when the price is, because that is strangely not, of all the Marvel stuff that and Star Wars, all the Hasbro stuff that I went through for this episode, he's the only one that I don't see a price for. That's weird.
Which probably means they know they're being ridiculous.
Yeah.
Wreck Ship says it'll probably be like $47.99. I think that's probably a fair guess. Chad J. Shonk in the stream, and he is looking for Magic cards. It says, or you can share the cards with friends. So everybody send Chad your Magic cards. Okay. So Mole Man, this I bring up. Elsa Bloodstone, not new to the line. She was in that one Comic-Con exclusive set years ago, right?
She's in the Toys R Us A-Force box set.
Oh, okay. But this is updated. This is penless. And a very interesting note that Dwight dropped during the stream was they discovered that, and this makes sense once you think about it, pens were one of the big problems with older Marvel Legends female figures, that they caused issues with the integrity of the figure. And in the same way that I complain about toe joints, because it's another point of failure that actually makes a lot of sense, because a pen, when a figure has pens like that, it's an extra piece and it's one more point of potential failure. as opposed to the penless stuff that's it's just 2 pieces rather than having a pen as well. So there's less potential for structural failure there. So I really included this more to drop that little piece of information. Although it is a cool figure, and I'll be glad to get it because I didn't get the A-Force set.
Yeah, I've still got her. That's a set I still have in the box. So,
and then finally, big Marvel news. Today, they dropped announcements, images, pre-order information, whatever, for a ton of Doomsday figures. I like seeing this many because it makes me feel like they're pushing it. However, I don't know if you guys saw all of the details about these. Magneto is an Amazon exclusive, and the Fantastic Four are all Walmart exclusives. And if there's anything I hate more than exclusive figures, it's a wave that is broken up in multi-store exclusives. That's disgusting.
Yeah, these all look great. I don't get any MCU figures if I can help it.
I dropped them. I've previously loved MCU and wanted to have MCU representations of all these characters, but 1, space became an issue. 2, I finally accepted the fact that there are characters that I want figures of that came out in movies 10 years ago that they still haven't made. And it's one of those collections that when I looked at it, all I saw was what was missing. And it's just not worth it because they're so slow with these. They don't do anything exciting. Because if you look at this, yes, these all look great. And personally, I'm not being cynical about Doomsday. I'm excited. Now, my expectations have been managed by the last however many years of MCU, because there've been some stuff I loved, but there's also been some stuff that I thought was just not even worth watching. But there's nothing exciting here. It's all stuff we've seen. I think the closest to exciting is probably like Channing Tatum as Gambit or James Marsden as Cyclops. But we know because we saw the trailer. So it's just different now. It's different times.
Yeah, out of these, like those 2 might be the only ones I would consider getting. And just because I don't know where I'd put them. Like I wouldn't put them on my legend shelf, but
oh, you know what? I take it back. For me, the most exciting thing was Shang-Chi because I didn't know he was actually in the movie. So I was very happy to see that because that's one of my favorite MCU movies, and it felt like they'd forgotten about it.
Well, thank God for getting another Shang-Chi figure because those flew off the shelves last time.
They weren't.
If you're missing any, you can still go to Ollie's.
Yeah, and if you'd like to get some Eternals figures,
yeah,
for full price, you can go. Where did I see them? Somebody still had them for full price in the last few weeks that I saw. I can't remember where I was. All right. We're gonna get into the big stuff early. This is the star of the show. This is my absolute favorite thing that I saw at San Diego Comic-Con, the online coverage. Ryan, you might be able to guess if you saw this, but I don't know if you saw it or not. But this blew my mind. It made me sit back and gasp and say, finally, NWO Stevie Ray.
It's about time.
It's about damn time. This honestly, as much cool stuff as we're going to be talking about, this brought me so much joy because Mattel has been doing a really good job of working through the NWO B team the best they can. There's certain things like Scott Norton is unlikely. I don't know if that'll ever happen. There's like Buff. I don't know that we'll ever see a Buff, but like Stevie Ray, they've had signed for a long time. So NWO Stevie Ray, so excited to see him here. Congratulations.
That's amazing.
Keep those yaks out of the ring. All right, it's time to move into the best in show segment. This is where we have each chosen 10 of our favorite things to talk about. I'm not going to lie. There are probably a couple things we're going to have more conversation about, and there are going to be a few things that we're just kind of like, this was really cool. I was glad to see it, and we'll move on. Ryan, we are starting with you. Now, neither one of you have any idea what order you're going in, so we're playing a little roulette here. Tell us about the Anzellan Droidsmith.
So this is the Hot Toys Anzellan Droidsmith. I love the Anzellans, but what I love most about this is it is life size. And so they are some of the best. Yeah, it's
7 or 8 inches.
Yeah, it's about that big. They are great. I love them when they show up. That's my favorite part in Mandalorian and Grogu. They're great in the books. I will buy this in a second. I'll buy it. And they had another variant. I forgot who's the other one when they had was. But I never buy Hot Toys, and I probably will buy this.
Well, it's appealing because it feels very in-universe.
Mm-hmm.
I love like when stuff is the size it should be or looks like, getting the lightsaber in Disney, like stuff like in-universe feel is very exciting. So to have a little guy, well, it also would be like getting a Mogwai, one of those prop Mogwais or something like that. Kind of stuff is really cool. And yeah, these guys are great. They were one of the highlights of Mandalorian and Grogu. All right, Kristian, you are up next. And boy, this would have been on my list.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So ever since I saw the skeleton figures from Mythic Legends, I have always thought, why isn't somebody doing skeleton warriors? It is one of the few toy lines that when I sold them off, when I pared my collection down, over 10 years ago, there wasn't huge demand, and I thought, oh yeah, if I ever want these again, I'm going to be able to get them. And how wrong I was. But these, when we talk about upgrading, such a huge upgrade, and they just these are the skeleton warrior figures that I pictured in my head. Like, these look, to me, they look like the artwork on the package.
Well, but what's great, though, is they have not been upgraded so much that they don't look like the original toys. Like, they still have the proportions and the aesthetics, so that it's not like they tried to make them cooler. I hate it when that's done and it's like, yeah, we just want to make it cooler. It still has that look.
Yeah,
the funny thing is,
when I say
I'm not going to mention a name because I don't know if he even wants people following him on Instagram, but one of the Mythic Legions collectors that I follow spent months putting together a custom Oracula and finished it relatively recently. And when they revealed these, he's like, of course.
But the modern articulation, the paint jobs, the fact that with Bone's Eye, like they're already reaching into the here's unproduced figure.
That's huge. That's huge.
And when you look at them, they could fit in with your Mythic Legions or your Cosmic Legions. I absolutely see them fighting my G.I. Joe Classified as well. They're just, you can never go wrong with skeleton action figures, and these are great. So
Thor Golden Cub is hanging out with us tonight and says Mythic Legions are the perfect company to have made these. Yeah, nobody but the Horsemen could have done these justice in this way. Very, very exciting to see. And like you said, starting out of the gate with a concept character that wasn't produced before, I think is a strong move. All right, my first pick of the show, going back, I have a shocking number of Star Wars picks on my list. So we did a Mandalorian and Grogu Where Are the Toys episode. And we got a few answers at San Diego Comic-Con. But one of my biggest, the thing I wanted most was one of the Amani Warrior, or a troop builder of the Amani Warrior. It looks fantastic. It looks terrifying. I still say it's the scariest creature in the history of Star Wars. But the most terrifying thing about it is it's fucking $27.99.
Whoa.
They ridiculously overpriced their vintage collection figures now, but the deluxe figures even more so. Like, when was it last year when they came out with the deluxe Hammerhead, and I'm like, it's
that's crazy.
It's the same cost as going and getting a new Black Series figure. Like, he almost made my list. Like, the sculpt.
Oh, I wanted it, but I was not going to pay that.
But
well, all of the deluxe figures since, I think Black Chrysanthemum might have been the first one that really felt like this is just a figure, but you're charging $8 more, or I'm sorry, $8 more than the outrageous regular price of these figures, because $20 is outrageous. For these figures, for me. Maybe that's just what they have to cost now, and if that being the case, I have cut so far back on TVC, I'm almost not collecting it anymore. Because the prices are insane. Retro makes me much happier. Oh, and I forgot to put that slide in. Oh, well, that's fine. We can talk about that another time. So yeah, the Amani Warrior goes on sale, or goes up for pre-order, which is another annoying thing. Nothing goes up for sale. It goes up for pre-order. July 30th at 1 p.m. Which brings us back to Ryan.
Hey, it's Muffy Christmas Carol. This is the NECA Kermit and Robin as Tiny Tim and Bob Cratchit. I'm a huge fan of Muppet Christmas Carol. And so I'm hoping they do all of these.
I want a Michael Caine.
Yeah. I want Rizzo, everybody. And I'll buy these and I will put them up at Christmas. I have a little Christmas village and I'll put them around it.
That was my thinking, is because we talked about this when NECA first started doing Sesame Street characters, which, by the way, I'm now all in on, apparently, and they're some of the best action figures I own. But when that first started happening, all we were talking about, could they get Muppets? Or could they at least do a Kermit, since he was on Sesame Street? Well, now they've got the Muppet license, and Muppet Christmas Carol, like other Muppet releases that we'll talk about, will be up year round. I'll take something down. But yeah, Muppet Christmas Carol, I'll do that like a little village, like you were saying. Like, that'll be my Christmas specials. Yeah, I'll actually tell you guys this. So I've got that street scene that NECA did for the 1990 Ninja Turtles movie, and it is this close to getting taken down because it takes up so much freaking space. I could have two more 10-inch deep by 4-foot wide shelves where that thing is. It looks cool, but it's just killing my space.
When they showed this too, the first thing I thought was, I want to see NECA's version of the Ghost of Christmas Present. That horrifying ghost.
All right. Kristian, you are next.
Okay. So the Astro Moat Monster, this actually has a weird, special little place in my heart because...
Well, we've talked about it before. Your desire for this figure.
And I talked to Brian Flynn about it, not this previous JoeCon, but the one before that, the last one that I was able to attend, because, they had done the pre-orders for the Tiamat, and I was like, is this a way for you to get oversized figures in some of these Ultimate lines without necessarily breaking the bank per se? I mean, Tiamat was like $400, but she's also huge.
300. 300.
Or 300. and he gave me one of his because I specifically mentioned Astromote Monster, and he gave me the I cannot confirm nor deny that anything is in the works. And I was like, okay, so you have at least been thinking about this, because that's such a PR answer. So when I saw this, I was so giddy. And 200, that's a chunk of change.
But it's huge.
It's huge.
Mhm.
It scales with the Ultimate figures. And again, I do love me some monsters. So
yeah, this thing is great. Depending on, it's going to depend on a lot of things, but I'd like to have it.
And I like that Super 7, not that everybody has to do this, but when Super 7 does their pre-orders, you can break stuff up into payments when they're selling stuff that's this expensive. So, $200 right up front, that can be a deal breaker for a lot of people. But if you're paying, whatever it breaks out to over a 6 or 12-month period, it makes it still somewhat affordable. So I appreciate Super 7 for that.
I hope they can get to what is it called? The Bubbler.
Yes, the Mad Bubbler.
Mad Bubbler. I hope that they can get to that.
Yeah.
So next up, another Star Wars pick for me, and one that I will absolutely be buying. The INT4, but a vintage collection update of the old mini rig. I love this mini rig. We've talked about it on the show before. I'm excited to see. Well, I was thrilled to see it in the movie. And I'm actually glad it comes with that Imperial Warlord, because after seeing Mandalorian and Grogu, I went back and watched the whole Mandalorian show, and that Warlord is in. He's one of the holograms.
On the Shadow Council.
Right, exactly. So that was a nice piece of carryover that I didn't catch when I was watching the movie. So I'm very excited to see the features that this has. But a cool update. Exactly the kind of thing I want to see from the vintage collection. Not going in the other direction, but more on that later.
I saw this first, and then I let myself believe they're totally going to do a Black Series version. We're going to see it. And
so this is $51.99, which honestly, not crazy.
Yeah.
For it comes with a look at him. He's probably a deluxe figure. He'd probably be $27.99 on his own with the soft goods and all that paint. So honestly, not a terrible price. Pre-orders on August 13th at 1 p.m. And it looks like everywhere. All right, Ryan, we got a little conversation to have.
It's Powdered Toast, man.
It is.
Are you not excited about Powdered Toast Man?
Honestly, I'm not, but, and we've discussed, actually, Mike Gordon and I talked about him a little bit. I can't, we all have our own ranges of how things affect us and how the behavior of creators and celebrities. Hey, look at that. Tom Henry in the super chat. Thank you, Tom Henry. He says, gotta go. Thanks for a weekend podcast. Well, thanks for hanging out. You can catch the rest of it. It'll be available on the Needless Things YouTube channel for as long as we all live. And tomorrow night, Tom Henry, hopefully you can check back in for the Audible Interlude San Diego Comic-Con follow-up, where we'll talk about all the G.I. Joe stuff. But now we've got to get back to Powdered Toast Man. So everybody has their own tolerances and what affects them. I can't watch John Kricfalusi stuff anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that is
But everybody has their different levels of awareness and how it hits them. But that's one of the ones that I discovered. Like, it wasn't a conscious decision. It was after finding out that he was grooming minors.
A terrible human.
Yeah. I we have the Ren and Stimpy collection that we bought like when Riley was really young. And I kind of went back to it and I was like, ugh, I can't watch it anymore. And there've been a lot of really great Ren and actually this was prior to Super 7 doing Ren and Stimpy because I was actually surprised that they did. And I was like, nah, I can't get into it. But this figure looks incredible.
It does. And you're right. I mean, it is a shame, like the stuff that goes along with it.
And I also just realized he comes with Muddy the Mud Skipper.
He does.
Oh man. So if and there are plenty of things I'm able to enjoy that have problematic creators. This is one that just fell for me. So if you'd still love Ren and Stimpy, I'm glad because it's incredible.
And, I don't even and you're right, like I don't watch it anymore, but this is such like a memory from that time, like how much I loved Powder Toast Man.
It was insane. I mean, everything on Ren and Stimpy was groundbreaking, trend-setting, completely nuts. Absolutely made parents uncomfortable in the best way.
I mean, look at the tea. Come on.
Yeah, Ren and Stimpy was something that I was not supposed to be watching. And I remember we went and visited Universal Studios some year, around 89, 90-ish. And I got, or maybe 88 even. I don't know. I don't remember when Universal opened in Florida. But because we were on vacation, I was allowed to purchase a Ren and Stimpy shirt. And I wore it like every other day until it fell apart. All right, Kristian.
Oh,
you're going to have to explain this, although the name is incredible.
Yes. Okay. So Getter Robo is one of my favorite giant anime or giant robot animes of all time. If you are familiar with the Shogun Warriors toy line, and you're familiar with the character Dragon, he was one of the forms of Getter Robo, because Getter Robo is 3 ships that can combine, and depending on which ship is basically forming the torso, you get 3 different forms. So there's Getter Liger, Getter Dragon, and Getter Poseidon. And this is from the second series of Getter Robo. Came out, I want to say like in the 70s, maybe early 80s, because originally Getter Poseidon had like a tank as his lower half. And while that is cool, having the big chonky legs, because besides loving monsters, you all know I love a chonky figure. And so I have my solo Chigokins of this line, and Toy Nami is who's producing them. So while I don't expect it to be cheap, I don't expect it to be solo Chigogan prices either, because it's probably not any die cast.
Right.
But yeah, Getter Poseidon is just such a great robot. I mean, his ultimate attack, that chest piece flops, raises up, and there's a giant turbine there, and he has the Getter Hurricane, and it's just, this is walked right out of the anime looking.
Yeah, it looks, I love the shape and size of this thing. The proportions of it are great. The primary colors are awesome. Like, this is a very, very striking figure. Speaking of striking, so we're about to go on a run. I have, like I said, with Vintage Collection, I'm so picky about 112 Collective that I'm almost not collecting it anymore. Matter of fact, I think we talked about that on the Toy Fair episode. But I still really want a great TV Peacemaker figure, John Cena Peacemaker figure. And outside of like Hot Toys and stuff, nobody has made a great one. And this Mezco 112 Collective Peacemaker with Eagly, you can see the wings change out, similar to how Classified has done, because there's another shot of Eagly like all tucked up. Now, I don't know if they're hugging wings or not, because they haven't shown everything about the figure yet, and they also have not shown an unmasked head. And that's going to be the thing for me, because I really want one with the multiple portrait option. So I'm curious to see what all this figure is going to come with. But if they, with Mezco, you never know if the plan is they're going to do Peacemaker and that's it, or if they might get the rest of the team. Who knows? But they could really lure me in if they do everybody from Peacemaker.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely would not say I collect 112 anymore. The last one I bought was years ago, but
yeah,
this is going to be one I definitely think about. And speaking of Mezco, did you see their other reveals?
Well, hold on.
Okay.
Just hold on.
Yeah,
buddy.
we'll get to the other 112 reveals. There's some shockers in there.
All right. Now we got another one that requires some explanation, because I didn't see this until you sent me the pictures. Who's making this and what is it?
So it's by a company called Toko 2 Toys. You can see it, Takatoku. Toku. I don't know. But they are doing a line of Shogun horror figures. And so there was this one, there was a Michael Myers. I think they said they're going to make a Freddy, and it's a mix of basically Shogun warriors mixed with horror. I just thought it looked really cool.
It does.
Yeah, it really does. They got the aesthetic
do we know
nailed,
what scale?
like how
they are 112.
Okay.
It looks so effectively like dusty and old.
Mm-hmm. And it was a toss-up. The Michael Myers looks. Excuse me, not Michael Myers. The Leatherface. The Leatherface they showed too looks really cool.
I'm gonna have to take a closer look at these. Now I'm noticing those knee joints are some old ass primitive knee joints, but that could be a move. If you're looking, they look like something from like the 90s. They're just single jointed knees with gigantic pins in them. Well, I say they're single jointed. We can't see high enough up to know if there's another
there might be
joint above that knee. They might be double jointed, but those pins are huge. I'm curious about these for sure. Carlos Salinas is here and says Jason looks sad. It's like it's Friday the 12th. He should come with a little calendar, like the meme. All right. So this would have made my list, but Kristian, this is obviously a Kristian pick.
I didn't put it on mine because I knew it would come.
And I had all these runners up that I was like, man, everybody's going to want to pick him. I should use one of these other guys, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. So we are looking at the Marvel Legends version of the Micronaut Acroyer from the old Marvel Micronauts series. This blew my mind. This is right up there with Rom and Kristar as far as figures that, because of all the rights being tangled up, that I never thought we would see. But as I told Dave in one of our conversations, you are not going to be able to convince me that this is not a response to the success that Super 7 has been having with their Micronauts line.
100%. And beyond that, if you watch that panel stream that I was talking about, you can tell from the way Dwight and Dan talk about this, it is not a choice they would have made.
That's so crazy because it's, I don't know, to me, it's such a striking design. I hope that he comes with an alternate unhelmeted head. But if not, okay, but it'll be so great if he does. But I mean, again, this is Mike Golden artwork in real life. I there's no other better way to explain it. The whites against that red.
It's very striking.
So striking. And he will pop on your shelf against any other figure.
That's what I love about it so much. They didn't put a wash on it. It is bright.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I kind of wonder too, that Christopher, which I think we picked as our pick of something one.
Yeah, I was
that
picking the show.
Yeah,
that has jumped on the secondary market. Bo has too. And so I think maybe too, they're seeing like there's a market.
The weird stuff gets attention for sure. Yeah, this is killer. So this is and it's cool because Super 7 can continue on doing Reaction Plus versions of the toys, while Hasbro can adapt the comic book characters, and we get two completely different looks from a franchise that hopefully we'll see, continue to see a revival.
Yep.
Let's see. So speaking of Mezco 112 Collective, this was actually the first thing I saw from them. Solomon Grundy, who does have a great DC Universe Classics figure, but this will probably be less expensive than that figure currently is. It's gorgeous. It's Solomon Grundy exactly as like I see him in my head. The soft goods look incredible. The sculpting. I mean, it's a 112 figure. While Ryan, while you and I have stepped away from 112 considerably, it's still, I think, it's the best action figure line there's ever been.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, the Solomon Grundy is just incredible.
Well, and what I was
it's
going to say earlier,
difficult for me to pass on it.
I was interested. There are other reveals: the Dark Knight Returns, Daredevil. They just put Punisher back out. They seem to be going back to those early
redoing.
Yeah,
because they are updated. Because that Punisher, because I used to have their older version of that Punisher, and this one is completely different. So they are updating these characters too. I'm curious to see, because that Dark Knight, I can't ever remember if my first 112 figure was the Dark Knight Batman or the Judge Dredd. I think I bought the Batman first and loved it so much I had to go and get one of the Dreads. I think that's how it happened. But yeah, this Grundy, man, this is awesome. It's going to be hard for me to pass up, but I'm sure the price will help.
Yeah.
All right, back to Ryan.
It's my girl. Okay. So this is the new Black Series, Queen Amidala. This is one of the main Black Series that I've been waiting for. Padme Amidala is one of my favorite characters. This is the look that I've wanted. With this, we also got it's the new packaging, which has caused quite the stir in the Black Series.
Oh, really? I think it looks great. I really like
does. It. So the big to-do is there are no longer numbers on the box. And so there's a lot of inbox collectors, who have, just like Classified.
Oh, boy, yeah.
You put the numbers in order, and now the numbers are gone. And so there's some people angry about that. They should just open them. Make them happy.
Yeah, this figure looks incredible. I saw, if you visit Toy Arc or Toy News International, you can visit their galleries and see images of this on display. Just a fantastic figure and such an iconic one of, we could probably do an episode about iconic Star Wars looks. I would say she is absolutely a top 20 iconic look from Star Wars, perhaps top 10.
Oh, I'd put her in top 10.
Yeah.
I mean, I also have dolls of this costume, so.
Hey, those were cool, man. I remember
they are. I got them.
Fashion dolls. Yeah.
Yeah, I got them all.
So before he retired, the gentleman that used to make my cosplay costumes, he used to work on the Superboy TV series. And I remember when he was working on my Starboy outfit, I was there for a fitting, and he got a call from Disney to make a recreation of this outfit for something that they
Whoa.
were doing. And it always like stuck with me. Like, wait a minute, they didn't want like a Princess Leia, a Han Solo. No, they gave him like, we want the red. I think they called it the landing strip, landing lights.
That's
Dress.
That's a different figure, Kristian.
Right.
You're gonna have to go to the dark corners of eBay for that figure.
Right. But I think it's because of the lights on the bottom of the dress.
Yeah.
But it all that always stuck with me, because I'm like, it's again a very striking design, and all of that red on a heroic character is so different than what Star Wars did.
She looks like Ming the Merciless.
She does.
Which only just now occurred to me, even though we've been watching this movie, or even though this movie's been around for 27 years. But she does. She looks like Ming the Merciless. That is hilarious.
I'm never going to watch it the same again.
Right? I will not condone Gordon being alive.
Carlos Salina says, the new packaging makes more sense than white boxes that have Black Series written on them. And Thor Golden Cub says, this Queen Amidala, truly poetry, especially with cloth goods. And if they can keep it $27.99, I'm on board.
Yeah, I'm worried with that new packaging. We're also going to see a new price point. Not that they have said anything, but...
and look, I hope I'm wrong, but I think I called earlier this year, or maybe even last year, that by the end of the year, standard 1/12 scale figures would be up to $29.99. I hope not, but things are not looking good on the petroleum products front. So we'll see. Let's find something else to make toys out of, I guess. All right, Kristian, another one that absolutely would have been on my list, but I had the benefit of being the host and getting to call my list after I saw you guys.
I think Operation Monster Force is like one of the probably top 3 best toy lines out right now. The sculpting, the details. So this, the creature from the Black Lagoon is joining Monster Force, and as opposed to the other sort of like famous monsters we've already seen in the line, they kept so true. And by that I mean, he's not wearing bandoliers or any sort of gadgetry. It is straight up an updated version of the creature. I especially love that he has a tail. And I cannot wait. I can't wait to see also what accessories he comes with, because Monster Force also knocks that out of the park.
Yeah,
in that face sculpt.
I wonder if they'll potentially be, because this portrait to me looks a lot like the Monster Squad version of Gillman. And I gotta wonder if maybe there'll be an alternate portrait, if that tail might be optional. Like if we're thinking about the loadout of a normal Operation Monster Force figure with all of the hands, all of the hoses, all the backpacks, all the little pieces that plug into different places, and this figure on its own is enough. So what could the options be here? Obviously, like a harpoon gun and a net, maybe. But I'm thinking there might be more structural differences you can make to the figure, like a different piece that plugs into the back so you don't have to use the tail. I'm
right. Is there
very
are there
curious
pieces
to
that
see.
make him a little more in line? And also the thought that keeps crossing my mind, I am assuming that he is on the side of good, but I also was thinking that about the Invisible Man. So I can't wait to see what faction he's with.
Yeah, that's true too. They really have created, that's kind of part of the fun of this now, is not knowing which side these characters are going to be on. Because it is always kind of a surprise of like, oh, they're with this faction. So yeah, gorgeous figure, 100% must have. Although I have said many times now, Operation Monster Force is the one line I will continue to collect if I have to drop everything else. Silent Interlude says Rubber Ducky. Carlos Salinas says he should come with arm floaties and a pool noodle. I 100% agree with that.
Yep.
Yes. Next up for me, oh my gosh, it's another 112 collective figure.
Oh, I didn't see this
Hulk,
one.
I didn't either.
This Hulk is incredible. It is the look. I love this look so much with the torn denim pants, the orange shirt, the gray Hulk with the big like rock. This is a very Kirby looking Hulk. This thing is incredible, and it's going to be very hard. And I know they've done a couple of Hulks, but I like this look so much, and specifically this look seems suited to 112 Collective. So you guys didn't see this one at all?
No.
Share your thoughts, because it blew me away.
Yeah, that's got the face sculpt that I always want Hulk to have. That blocky kind of with the over the eyes, kind of thick. Like, I think it looks great.
The big thick eyebrow, almost no nose.
Yeah. As soon as this came up, you hit it on the head. This is Kirby through and through, and I love that.
Yeah, gorgeous figure. I didn't want to put 3 figures from a line I'm not really collecting in my top list, because then that's just further encouragement to me to spend money on them. But there's all 3 of those were so striking to me that I was just like, I got to put them on here. All right, Ryan. We talked about this guy on that Mandalorian and Grogu episode a lot.
It's Roto. So here's my thing with Roto. We had talked about it and kind of wanting it. And so before they announced it, a AI rendering got leaked of the package. And it looked like it was just basically the old Jabba figure with some different arms on it. And then they showed it. So it's rubber. Like, it turns, the mouth opens. Yeah, like it's a rough. The tail is got an armature in the inside, so you can move it. And so I went from I might get that to okay, I'm gonna have to get this. Now, will that break down over time? Probably, but by then, hopefully, I won't care.
Well, who doesn't want kept him puddle of ooze under their HUD?
That's what kept him off my list, because my Masterverse Ram Man, his legs are already doing that.
Are they?
And so I was like, man, I really love what they did with the Hutts in Mandalorian and Grogu, but anything that is a soft plastic with an armature inside, I'm just going to be really leery of. But fantastic. And when they were showing the mouth, I was like, oh.
Until I saw the video, I kept thinking, like, where's the other head? And how does that attach? And then they showed them open the mouth. And I was like, okay, I'll get it.
I'll have to check out the video. Okay. Next up, Kristian.
Yes. So again, I love what they did with the Hutts in Mandalorian and Grogu. In Star Wars lore, I'm a big fan of actually the whole Hutt dynasty. So I went with the vintage collection of Rodu, because he doesn't have the soft plastic that I am very scared is going to disintegrate over time. He doesn't have the cool opening mouth, but I kind of dig the sort of smirk he has on his face, and I think they did a good job with the articulation to be able to get him in some interesting poses, like the waist to joint to the tail to the chest.
Mhm.
You know, I think he's going to be more than just, oh, my arms can move.
Right. Yeah, I'm price. Oh, did I get pricing on this? Okay, so
He was
the Black Series Rada is $79.99. Pre-orders July 27th at 1 p.m. Vintage Collection Rada is $46.99. Same day for the pre-order. So, I mean, he's going to have to be pretty big for. I mean, everything is more expensive than it should be now.
Mhm.
yeah.
And it doesn't seem like the vintage collection should be more than half the price of the Black Series.
Yeah. No.
But they had to make these. I
Mhm.
honestly, I believe, and this is not my scale bias, I actually like this model better than the Black Series one.
I think based off of the photography that the paint job on the vintage collection one is better, but it could also just be bad lighting.
Yeah, and it's not fair
The Black
because
Series. Right.
the vintage collection picture we're looking at is a render, and the Black Series picture we're looking at is, you know, your typical potato phone San Diego Comic-Con
Mhm.
picture. So there's, yeah, like you said, there's no telling what this looks like without this, you know, harsh lighting on it. I do like the eyes, though. Look how the eyes are
Mhm.
very shiny. They have a gloss on them compared to the surrounding material. I'll be curious to see both of these in person. And that brings us to the plush Rod of the Hut that I chose as my... No, I'm just kidding. No, I chose... I am mostly out of wrestling, certainly out of super articulated, like Mattel style wrestling figures at this point. However, this 2-pack of Liv Morgan and Chucky is canon. This happened on the show when Liv Morgan hosted an episode of the Child's Play TV series, or the Chucky TV series. This happened, and it includes a bloody knife and a bloody Liv Morgan from when he killed her.
Oh yeah, she's got stab wounds on her side.
Yeah, it's crazy. So this one, Child's Play is great, but Chucky is just one of the best horror shows ever made. It kept getting smarter and better. I like Liv Morgan as a wrestler, but it's really more about the fact that this happened on the show, and it's a murdered, bloody figure that Mattel is just putting out.
Yeah, if you had told me that this was a NECA and Mattel crossover, I mean, minus how Chucky's articulation looks in the photos, I would have been like,
right,
oh, that's so cool. Like, my mind is blown away that this is just straight up Mattel.
It's crazy.
And the detail in the Chucky figure, I think is phenomenal for Mattel.
Yeah, I'm very excited about this. This is a day one order for me. Now, I'm sure it says coming October, but I don't know if it's going to be one of those things where pre-order now comes out October of next year, or if it's just going to be up to order. I don't know. But this is not Chucky's first wrestling crossover. Ryan, do you recall which WCW wrestler had a feud with Chucky?
Oh no, I can like see it in my head.
Rick Steiner.
That's right.
had a on-screen feud with the Chucky doll back in WCW. So
his voice would come from backstage.
yeah. So you know, if we're lucky, a few years from now, the Rick Steiner Chucky 2-pack will also make its way out. All right. Another one that needs a little bit of explanation because Ryan, I have no idea what this is.
So this was by a toy company. KB Toys had a booth where I guess they were allowing a bunch of different creators to put stuff in their booth. And so this was done by a company called Legendary with an I. And the line of this is called Meta Travelers. It's just like an original sci-fi line, they said. And this is the Meld Master. It's just one of those figures that I thought looked amazing. And, I think we're all suckers for translucent plastic.
Yeah.
But I just really like the detail on it.
I mean, what it reminds me of is if somebody took the aesthetics of Skylanders and made a 1/12 scale figure out of it, which is awesome, by the way. If you've never, I'm sure people our age and probably even 10, 15 years younger have never thought twice about Skylanders, have just dismissed it as a kid thing. But Riley's got tons and tons and tons of them, and they're gorgeous. I mean, all of those little figures are works of art, and the aesthetics of them are just fantastic. So, that's what it reminds me of. Awesome looking figures. So check out if you're listening and not watching us live on the Needless Things YouTube channel. One more time, what's the company and what's he called, Ryan?
It's Legendary. The Meta Travelers is the line. This is Meld Master. They showed like 4 of them, and they all looked really cool.
I'll have to check those out. I like it. All right, Kristian.
Okay. See, whereas you're like, so many, what was it, Mezco 112. So I'm like, we might as well just put the whole Fresh Monkey Fiction / Big Bad Toy Shop.
Well, we will be talking about a lot of Big Bad Workshop stuff tomorrow night on the Interlude show. So don't worry if you feel like we didn't cover everything. Tomorrow night we'll be talking a lot about this stuff.
So this is their take on the Action Force villain, the Kraken, who once again, underwater monster creature. Yes, which so jealous.
You know what?
Dave
this is worth hang on, let me see if I can get the right. There he is.
Yeah.
Look at that guy. Beautiful.
So great.
Yeah.
So this is their sort of monsterized take on it. A shorter kind of snout. Doesn't have the fin going down the back, but I am okay with that. With some of the stuff that they've done that has been sort of like an analog to a Red Shadows figure, there's no hiding it with him. Like that suit is just straight up a 1/1 redo. Comes with his harpoon gun, and the creature from the Black Lagoon version that we looked at, his paint job is so different compared to what they did with the Kraken.
I love it.
Also just be the lighting, but the photo that we've seen, it is this really good bright green. There's not a lot of shading or dark colors put to it. And I think it makes it pop. And then you look at the sculpting on that mouth with those rows of jagged teeth. So good.
Yeah, I like the parts reuse on the arms and legs, but everything else just has such a great look in those colors. And it's funny because the Crimson Moon stuff is a little more pulpy, a little more bright and lurid than the Operation Monster Force stuff. Like there is a difference in the looks, and I appreciate that they're bringing that out even more with this. I'm assuming this will be a Crimson Moon release.
Yeah, I should have thought of that.
But yeah, it looks incredible. And again, would have been on my list, but that's okay because it made room for one of those 112 figures, I guess. Or perhaps for whatever is next. Ooh, what's next on my list? I don't remember. Oh, okay. I had to do 2 slides for these because what we're looking at are NECA's new retro cloth style DC superhero figures. And I have a lot of the horror figures that they do in this scale and this style, and they're fantastic figures. I think very underrated, underappreciated. But I see people shit on them all the time, and like as though updating the Mego aesthetic was like a dumb thing to do. I think these look incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, right now we're looking at some of the nicest Superman and Hal and John figures that have ever been made. And they're going to be $40 or less.
Yeah.
Yeah, those look wonderful.
I think Big Bad has them up right now for $37.99. You know, who knows if that price will last. But the interchangeable accessory, well, the fact that they did the Green Lantern swappable heads, so you can have Hal or John, the simple but very cool constructs or light effects for the Green Lantern ring that do plug into that ring, by the way. I just think they've made some really cool choices here. And then I had to add a second slide because it's not just these comic book, which, by the way, these are also just great standard comic book versions, which is so hard to get from some of these lines. They're very who was the artist who did all of the merchandising, like style guide stuff? Jose Garcia,
Jose Luis Garcia.
Okay. That they look like they're pulled from that like artwork. That's like, here's what we back in the 70s and 80s or whatever. This is what we want Superman to look like on the napkins and beach towels and trash cans and whatever else. And I love that standardized look. But we also have, I had to take up another slide for these because they're also doing an Adam West Batman and a Christopher Reeve Superman. I think the Batman looks fantastic. And if you told me 15, 20 years ago that I would ever say, but I think I have enough Adam West Batman figures, I would have said you're out of your mind. But I think I have enough Adam West Batman figures. And the Christopher Reeve, my gosh, if you're going to give him one portrait, make it smiling. I don't understand, because NECA did the same thing. They did a fantastic Christopher Reeve figure, but he's not smiling. So I think the costume looks good. They got the cape length right, which does not always happen with Christopher Reeve Superman. But I don't love that portrait. But I'm excited to see what NECA does with the DC license. And I'm excited about the fact that it looks like Mattel does not actually have the master license, which I was concerned about, because I think it's better when a lot of different companies are able to take a shot at licenses. So I'm happy that there's room for other people to make DC figures still. All right, back to Ryan.
It's Malice. So
where was she on your list of they'll never make this?
I mean,
pretty high.
Pretty high. And especially like to go to retail. Like after all the hubbub about Mephisto, we can't put that out, and all the other characters we talk about. Yeah, we got Malice. Now, granted, it's one of the Magic figures, but you know, I'll sacrifice. I'll give this card to Chad. He can have the card here.
And I wonder though if that was a factor in
maybe
that she's tied to this other franchise, and that was a way to kind of slip this look through the cracks. I will say I'm never going to be happy with the painted on thigh high boots like that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it looks great. And if they can do this Malice, then I think they can get pretty close to the original Goblin Queen, which is another figure on that list.
Yeah.
Yeah, after I saw this, I was like, they need to go back and redo the Goblin Queen and straight up make her a Marvel Legends figure, not X-Men 97.
Right. And Inferno is my all-time favorite crossover, so that Goblin Queen is very high on my must-have list, but I want the traditional look.
Yeah, and it doesn't take you much from this to make her.
No, and they could fake it out a little bit if they cover the whole boob. That's fine. I understand.
Yeah.
You don't have to do the like over the top pervy, 80s look that she had, but they can get pretty close while still, putting out something that's not too crazy for prime time.
And this will probably be one of those figures again, like the White Queen, where I'm somewhat embarrassed buying it in the store and don't make eye contact at the checkout clerk.
Where you hand it to them face down, but then you realize the artwork on the back is even worse.
I've also bought a loaf of bread that I don't really need, but I don't want to just buy this.
I think that's almost worse.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
What are you doing with the loaf of bread?
So what are you doing with the bread?
Mind your business.
This cuts a little time off because Kristian, your next pick.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wanted to say, since you mentioned what was it, 80s aesthetic pervs, like the John Byrne-ness of this all. I cannot believe that they gave her the John Byrne style alternate head with the mullet haircut. Like that was just as exciting to me as getting this figure. It's one of my all-time favorite Fantastic Four villains, the whole evolution from Invisible Girl to woman and a mullet.
Well, and to go back to the recap panel that they posted, Dana and Dwight seemed perplexed by this figure. Their reaction to having to talk about it was entertaining. I highly recommend everybody go check out those recap videos because everybody is just beat in them. Next up for me, Oscar the Grouch. As I mentioned, those Sesame Street figures that NECA has done are some of the nicest action figures I own. Oscar is a must-have. I've got him pre-ordered from Big Bad already. I'm curious to see how the interior of the trash can works because he can sit, it looks like, at two different levels. Well, perhaps probably three different levels because I'm sure you can close the lid with the figure in there. It would actually be really cool if they had like a mechanism in the back where you could pop him up. That would be very cool. But he comes with arms, so he has to sit a little bit higher than this at some point. But comes, everything, the T with the crown, because as we know, the letters are all corresponding. This is great. This must have, love it. NECA's Muppets are all fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, wait, did I skip over?
You skipped Ryan.
I skipped Ryan. How dare I?
Yeah.
But I understand why I skipped this. Okay, here we go. So tell me about this weird Kurt Angle figure.
So this is Earth X Captain America from Alex Ross's and Jim Kruger's Earth X.
That's why I don't know it. Okay.
This is one of those books. I love Earth X. We won't talk about Paradise X or Universe X. But getting this Cap, I am hopeful we are going to get some of the other characters. Like I would love to have a Spiders Man, the little kid Red Skull, a half-burned Namor. Like this is just one of those comics that I go back to.
Wolverine.
Yeah. Like I could do a whole like little deluxe set of Beer Gut Wolverine and Gene being upset in the couch. Like,
I'm sure this is one of those things where they're trying something out. Where if this guy sells, then you'll see more Earth X.
Yeah, he looks great. He looks just like he should.
Just like I guess that first Avengers Crossings or whatever 2-pack did well, and that's why we're getting.
I gotta say though, That is one of my favorite Scarlet Witch costumes that they
Same.
ever gave her. That is not her original costume. I just hate that vision. So I'm like, I'm not buying this 2-pack. I'm gonna wait and eventually get her off of eBay.
Mhm.
But
that
I like
cape
that
on that
Vision's
vision
shape.
is odd. Do you?
I think it's very like McFarlane Toys 1995. But no, I like it because it's something different. Now, the problem I have, well, first of all, the Vision figure is terribly ugly. Like that yellow shirt, it's not good. But the cape, in one of the images, it looks like it supports him, but I bet it doesn't.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out because I saw that image too, and I was like, "There's no way that cape holds him up."
No. So, but anyway, yeah, Earth X Cap, cool, good. Keep trying new things. Okay, now we go back. Kristian.
yes, again, Fresh Monkey Fiction. Pun intended this time, because one of the surprise figures for me was the as I like to call it, the Robbie Williams monkey figure. And we're getting
I'm looking at that, and that is clearly Loner Rebel Monkey.
Well, but that's just it. We're getting a second figure in the line, and not only does he come with a katana, he comes with a guitar, and I'm totally getting.
Oh no, it's not Pee Wee. It's not Pee Wee. It's Buckaroo Banzai.
OMG.
Right?
Now that you said that, like? That absolutely is
at the
clicking.
End, right?
Yeah.
At the end when they're walking, and that's exactly the kind of thing Fresh Monkey Fiction would do. Yeah. Oh, dude. Okay, wait. Let me see if I can share this image on the screen. Holy cow. I'm so glad you pointed out the guitar. That's the suit.
Yeah.
Oh, now that totally makes me think that perhaps the next Agents of Omega, this mystery at the Lincoln Library that we didn't get a good picture of, will come with a head sculpt that looks like Buckaroo.
No, what's going to happen is they're going to put out some dumb figure that I don't care about that's going to have the Peter Weller portrait, and I'm going to have to buy it because there's no way I'm missing a Buckaroo Banzai. That's incredible. And look, World Crime League is a very generic term. There's no reason Fresh Monkey Fiction couldn't just start using that.
That is true.
Actually, no, I believe the author might own it. So speaking of things with fucked up rights, Buckaroo Banzai is one of them.
That I didn't know. But yeah, this man, I'm pretty much almost all in for most of what Fresh Monkey Fiction does, but this line in particular, it's the Lancelot Link update of my dreams.
No matter where you go, there you are. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting, because I was going to get that figure anyway, because they showed it at Toy Fair, and like I said, I just thought it was Pee Wee. But as soon as you said guitar, I was like, oh shit, I know what it is. Exciting. All right. The Aquabats. So there's a smaller company called Plastic Meatball that has made some really, really fun and cool 3 3/4 inch figures. They've done Joe Bob and Darcy. They've done they did. Oh shoot! The name of the movie just fell out of my head. Psycho Gorman. Psycho Gorman. Cool. They did Psycho Gorman figures. They've done a lot of really, really cool stuff. They're kind of stayed under the radar a bit. They did Emmett Otter figures. There are new Dark Crystal, not Dark Crystal. The
Labyrinth
figures from them that look fantastic. So they now are working with the Aquabats, and we see the Aquabat Commander, this giant fork and a microphone. Looks great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see what else they come up with. Plastic Meatball is one of those companies that's like, we only do cool stuff. Like everything you see, you're like, yeah, that's like they're how. Not to say that Super 7 doesn't only do cool stuff, but there are things outside of the like, ooh, that's cool that they do now. Plastic Meatball is kind of like what Super 7 used to be. Like really, really just everything you see from them is like, yeah, that makes sense. That's cool. So I have to mention, this is where I put my note in from earlier. These showed up today. Plastic Meatball is doing Battle of the Planets figures like this.
Interesting.
Yes. And they look really nice. They look like something that might have come out back when we were kids watching that. Yeah.
Okay.
Check those pictures out. I didn't have enough time to get them into the presentation here, but very exciting. So everybody, if you have not taken a look at Plastic Meatball, check them out. Give them a follow on Instagram. They're doing a lot of fun stuff. Actually, they just put up Emmett Otter and Ma plushes for pre-order on their website, and they look fantastic. Okay. Next up, Ryan, back to you with...
This is Big Bad Workshop's Man-Eating Cow from the Tick. I will pick Man-Eating Cow in any form it comes out in. I think we all like the Tick. Man-Eating Cow is from the, Tick versus Arthur's Bank Account. It's my favorite episode of the Tick. I just love it. And, Man-Eating Cow is one of those figures. It's one of the few toys, the original figure I still have in the package.
Yeah,
that I have displayed that I actually purchased from Miss Troublemakers 30 years ago. And all these Tick toys look amazing, and they've been coming out, but this is the one I'm really excited about.
So my review of the Tick is up now on the Needless Things YouTube channel. Go check it out. It's incredible. It's a wonderful figure. I'm super excited about Chairface Chippendale and the Terror.
Mm-hmm.
Which they also showed here, but they've been talking about for a little while. Man-Eating Cow was kind of a surprise. But since you guys... Now, Kristian, I wasn't sure if your pick was Man-Eating Cow or just all of the Tick figures.
Well, no. So mine specifically was Man-Eating Cow.
Okay.
But I wanted to include the other ones just so people could see, because I agree with you. Like this whole like Tick villains are awesome. Like we're even getting multiple Santa. So now my naughty or nice Santas from Fresh Monkey Fiction have someone to fight. But yeah, man, you can never go wrong with Man-Eating Cow, and I love that right out of the bat.
Mm-hmm.
They're giving us it.
The Barry figure looks amazing too.
And that's what I was going to say, is they also had Barry on display, but I didn't see any good pictures of Barry that were shareable like this. Now I will, as saying that, I will mention again, everybody go check out toyark.com and Toy News International for their coverage of San Diego Comic-Con to see all the pictures of everything. Also, be sure you're following Action Figure Insider. Daniel Pickett has been working in the toy industry for years and years and years, and has been a valuable source of news for as long as I've been following adult collecting, and worked on a couple of the things that we've talked about here. He worked on the Gillman and the Kraken of the Big Bad Workshop figures. But Action Figure Insider, Toy Ark, and Toy News International, all just incredible sources of toy information. All right, well, this is it. We're going to wrap it up. This is my last pick. And it's NECA's Muppets, just as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Piggy and Gonzo at Toy Fair, but I don't know if we had seen the Phenomena guys or not.
I think we saw a picture, like a cardboard.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right. and again, NECA's Muppets are incredible. I cannot wait to get my hands on all of these. I'll pre-order them from Big Bad the second they go up. But I noticed something. So, I think if you guys are like me, you'll kind of do, as Comic-Con starts, when you've got time, you look on your phone to see, like, Instagram is usually my big resource, although Blue Sky is getting to be really good as well. And then later on, you may get a chance to sit down and take a look at them on a bigger screen, as I do, because I have to put together this presentation for the show. And in doing that, I noticed something in the background of this picture that you are absolutely not going to see on your phone, and that is this. Rizzo the Rat holding the Prototypes Shown sign.
I did not even notice that. That's awesome.
Right.
And
until you get the...
Even after you had pointed this out to me before the show, when you put this picture up, I was looking at it and I was still like, wait, it's a stand. He was messing with me. No.
Yeah. It's until you get, that's why I really always I like to look at my phone to see like what highlights I want to talk about, but I've got to sit down and look at stuff on a big desktop. Because one, just to see the details of the things being shown, but also to catch stuff like this, because this is fantastic. So yeah, Rizzo holding up. And if you don't know, if you're listening, what we're looking at is an image of all of the Muppet related stuff NECA has in the works, which is more than just, we have Gonzo and Camilla. We have Miss Piggy and her dog, whose name I cannot remember.
Foo-Foo.
Is it Foo-Foo? Okay. And it is an older style Miss Piggy as well. Like it is Muppet Show Miss Piggy, is before they updated her eyes. And then the Menomina, the characters, the singer guy and the those guys. But then behind them, the fruits and vegetables with the faces on them, and Rolf's piano. So it's not just here are some figures, it's here are some figures and what we're already planning for down the road. But I do hope, and this is a weird sentence I'm getting ready to say, I do hope their first Rolf is nude. Because I've got the old Palisades Rolf in the tuxedo, and like, it's great, it's a nice figure, but when I picture Rolf, he's nude.
Yep.
So I hope NECA goes in that direction first. Okay, so that is our coverage of our favorite stuff from San Diego Comic-Con 2026. We're going to talk right now. Who do you think as a company? Well, let's save that for let's save a positive for last. So before we get to our closing positive, we got to talk about some things that left us scratching our heads or perhaps just closing our screens down. Ryan, you're going to start.
Okay.
Please tell us about this thing.
Why is she so tan? So
I did not see this. I missed this.
This is Jazz Inc. This is their Linda Carter Wonder Woman. Now look, they showed a Catwoman from Batman Returns, looks fantastic. They showed some other ones, and then I got to this, and I was like, "What is that color on her?" Like
she's got the Hulk Hogan hot dog tan, brother. It is. There's some serious uncanny valley going on because the costume, the hair, the portrait look fantastic.
Yeah,
but they're all on like Rosario Dawson's skin tone.
It's so weird.
It is very strange, and maybe it's something that'll be corrected. I'm not familiar with the format or the company, and it is odd that it looks like they're going for an almost Hot Toys quality, but then looking at her lasso, that is not Hot Toys quality. So I don't know.
Well, even her top is the bustier is not Hot Toys.
Yeah,
quality.
You're right.
That's hot glue quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. The soft goods are not anywhere. Well, okay, so we can say the soft goods are not up to snuff. However, I would need to pull up a picture of her actual original costume because maybe that is kind of just what it looked like, and our heads are prettying it up a little bit. But anyway, good pick for weird item number 1, Kristian.
Yeah. Okay. So what we're looking at is the Marvel vs. Capcom repaint 2-packs of Wolverine and Psylocke. And listen, I am all for figures, that are retired or hard to find, that sold out, of keeping them in the hands of collectors. But to do repaints of figures that were just released last year and I can still easily buy.
But that's not the point. The point is to maximize their dollars on this hot franchise.
Sure, I guess if you're gonna tease me with that color of pink on Psylocke, you better be putting her in her original Alan Davis outfit, not this as
but this
Jim Lee.
I look at these as these are not for us. These are for the nutty Marvel versus Capcom fans, which are significant.
Sure, but this was the first thing that when I was looking at this San Diego coverage, as soon as I saw this, like I audibly groaned, like, why? why is this taking a slot from the multitude of other characters that are in that game?
You know why? Why? Because, well, one, it's very easy. They've already got the tooling for all of this. Very easy to do a repaint. And cash in on Street Fighter has a movie coming out in October.
Right. So
then they need to be just pounding product out. And you know what? Oh no, we're talking about them tomorrow night. The Street Fighter movie figures. We'll talk about those tomorrow night.
Okay.
Now I will say with the repaints, they might get me with the Player 2 Shumagorath, the pink one, because the first one is so good. And
it's pretty great.
Yeah. But
so here's the thing that infuriated me. This Hasbro, Adam Paulus of 16bit.com and galactichunter.com, the Star Wars collecting voice that I respect the most on the internet. Adam Paulus often says you have to let Hasbro know what you want, and you have to be specific about it. So if you just say, Hasbro, I want more retro, they do shit like this, where they take a vintage collection X-Wing and give it a retro paint job with Luke and R2. And when they did those Cantina aliens like this last year, I saw that and I was like, fuck, they are confused. They have misunderstood what some of us are saying. I would have bought that Alien 4-pack if it had been retro style. But I do not want vintage collection stuff painted to look retro. One, for aesthetic reasons. Two, for price point reasons.
I hate the price point on this. However, I do worry that they're going to get me with it because I never jumped in to that scale for the X-Wing because it's just so large. Like I still have my original Kenner ones. But one time I was able to get the TIE Fighter on clearance came out to be like the Kenner one. It's the white color instead of the dark gray.
Yeah.
So when I saw this, I was like, oh, I might finally have the ship to go with that TIE Fighter. But I totally hear what you're saying because $100.
140.
Whoa.
Oh, 140. Ugh.
They're out of their minds.
Yes. The last time this kind of X-Wing came out, it was $100, but that was a while ago. So especially coming with two figures.
And I will say the painting that like the photo of Luke in there on this photo is not the same as what they showed in the package there, because they straight up just painted his hair the bright yellow like the original Kenner figures, and it doesn't make sense on a vintage collection figure. Like it looks like somebody messed up.
No, I probably would have paid $100 for the same thing but retro style, like an update of the Kenner X-Wing, just sturdier, same thing but just make it sturdier, with a Luke and an R2. I probably would have paid $100 for that, but I don't know if. Here's the thing with this cost them no money really. All of this tooling already exists. This is a repaint. I think the canopy might be sculpted differently, because the older one, I'm not positive. I can't get to it right now and see. But yeah, this was minimal cost for them. But I don't love it. So now we'll talk about which company do you think had the best presentation at San Diego Comic-Con? And we'll stay with our order. Ryan.
Shockingly for me, Hasbro had it for me this year. The Marvel Legends they put out were good, but even more than that, and we didn't talk about this, the Black Series figures that they announced, this was the first year an entire wave got announced, and I was like, I have to have all of those. And I, especially, like we talked about with the Micronauts adding and Earth X Cap, like kind of expanding Legends out, like this is the first time I think Hasbro made a really good showing again and I've been down on Black Series a lot recently, and
I think everybody has.
Yeah, I'm more excited now than I have been in a while.
That's awesome. Kristian, what about you? Who impressed you the most?
Yeah, I was really torn about this, but I absolutely am going to go with Fresh Monkey Fiction. I think everything that they showed it gives me faith in the lines that they're putting out right now. Like we're going to see more. From a comic book standpoint, all that tick stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll talk about the NPCs and some other Fresh Monkey Fiction stuff tomorrow night. So be sure to tune in to the Audible Interlude live stream. And my pick, I agree with Ryan. While Fresh Monkey Fiction stuff is what I'm most excited about from San Diego Comic-Con, I feel like Hasbro had the strongest overall presentation between Joe, Star Wars, Marvel Legends. I feel like there was a lot of exciting stuff there that felt, like you said about Black Series, felt a little revitalizing. Like we're never again going to have just incredible shows where everything is great and exciting and like, oh my gosh, look, it's a whole new era of great stuff. But I feel like Hasbro put on a stronger overall show than they have in a while, as far as me just being interested in what they're putting out there. Now, it's all way, way too expensive, but that's not what this segment is about. It's just about who put out the most eye-catching stuff. And for me, I agree, it was Hasbro.
I totally forgot to include their Joe stuff, like in thinking of who won.
Right. Well, it's another show.
Oh,
another show.
Yeah.
They can win tomorrow.
Yeah.
Who wins the best Joe content?
But I almost forgot the big Hydro Sled news. I hope Tom Henry is still here. I can't remember if he's the one that had to go earlier. Who was that? He did? Oh, since Tom Henry is not here, to be fair to him, we will push our big Hydro Sled announcement off until tomorrow's Audible Interlude. So everybody tune in. End of show tomorrow. We will make that Hydro Sled announcement. So that's it for this show. Kristian, where can we find that toy photography you do so well?
You can find me on Blue Sky and Instagram under the name Legion Cub.
And Ryan, I know you have many other duties in addition to being Needless Things head of research. Where can we find you?
You can find me co-hosting Execute Chapter 66 with Beth and Chad, who are on here, a Star Wars book club. And I guess it's about time to start promoting. We'll be at Dragon Con doing stuff for the Star Wars track, where you can come see me defend why Han shooting first was a terrible idea.
Oh, wow! You need to make a little teaser video for socials.
Wow,
promoting that. That's going to.
I'll also be promoting why the Ewok movie deserves its place higher than it is respected by the fans.
Right, like you have so much of my respect for that, and God knows we need to talk about this. But wow, that Han comment. Ooh.
You guys and Chad need to. We already did our commentary on the Ewok movie, and that's as much torture as I can endure. You guys should absolutely get together with Chad and talk about that piece of shit some more. And on that note, that's all the show we got for you tonight. Check out the Needless Things podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, audio episodes usually contain intros that you cannot find on the Needless Things YouTube channel. That will not be the case tonight because I'll be posting this as soon as I can get it edited. But check out the Needless Things YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, share, and until next time, buy what you like.